Hi, Lindsay.
Hi.
By the way, for my audience, Queen of Time, great album from last year, out now.
Yeah.
Lindsay, first of all, I have to apologize. I have to straight up apologize because, look, I feel like the last time we spent some time together, we were like side stage at Bonnaroo 2 years ago, and I wasn't like aware of your artistry. I think I even asked you if you were like a musician, and it's bothered me ever since. I'm like embarrassed by it because Anyway,
Don't know till you know.
I know, but it was you were watching your husband play that day, and it was a great day. But yeah, I had to just like get all that off my chest because that's like gosh, like that was a great afternoon, and we got to hang that day for sure.
Yeah.
Lindsay, let me ask you about this. You got a house last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a house last year. How has it been? Obviously you're building a family, but you've always been like a homebody.
Oh yeah.
How has it been like now? Do you find like yourself more of a homebody as time passes now with your palace? Like, do you love your house?
I think I do. I love my house. We're so grateful and we've been there since May and it's January. So, we've been there for a good 9 months or so, and still we just look at each other every once in a while and it's just like, man, we're so grateful and so happy and we love it so much. And Kyle and I are both I think we'll always, no matter what space we have too much stuff.
Oh yeah.
So like, I'm always trying to figure out how to creatively make it work, but it's such a beautiful house. It's all lined in knotty pine, tongue and groove wood.
Amazing.
Paneling, and it just feels like a cabin. We call it our cabin palace. But as I travel and tour, everywhere I go, I kind of bring that nesting with me, and I've always been like that. I really move in to everywhere I go. I bring my smoothie maker and my kettle and my teas and and my pillow and I just I try to be weary of not having comfort be my master, but also just have a deep appreciation for that home feeling. And I've been touring full time for
a while.
Oh man, I guess like 15 years or something, so it's just sort of part of my process now.
Yeah, I love it. I love how you're like evolving, if you will. And that's kind of like a word that kept coming up in research or whatever, Lindsay, just like the way that you kind of like shed old skin and like come into a new one, like just throughout your career.
Yeah.
Have you always been like where did this comfort with being uncomfortable come from? I just felt like you've always, you're always like, yeah, let's go to my new era, my new version.
Yeah.
That's accurate, right?
Yes, totally. I think that we all contain multitudes, and I guess just have a natural disposition towards enjoying getting inside of all of the different aspects of myself. And I sort of get stir crazy if I sit in one place for too long. It's funny, I've always noticed how much paradox also I contain, being such a homebody, but also being stir crazy in one place for too long. But it's like I find consistency in the inconsistency. I bring home everywhere I go. And no matter if I'm playing acoustic music or if I'm playing with electric guitars and drums, there's always this element of me in it. And it's always rooted in acoustic music and music, especially as a social experience, like that's always been a part of my personal joy with music is the connection that I have with the other people who are making it with me. Or if I'm, sometimes I'll do a solo show myself in the audience. It's like that connection is really where the magic is for me. And I love more than anything just sitting in the living room. And jamming. I just did this show with Peter Owen and the Sam Grisman Project at the Ryman. And I was talking with Garrett Woodward before the show, and he was just asking me about, you know, the show and everything. And I realized that, you know, it was such a beautiful example of, that show was such a beautiful example of why I moved to Nashville, just being surrounded by my friends and heroes who I admire and who really showed me the path. And I got my reward the day before the show when we all got together at our buddy Nat's and played all the songs in the living room. Like, that is where my real joy is. And getting to do it at the Ryman, at the Mother Church, for all these, this crowd was so amazing and had so much palpable energy, was the cherry on top, you know? But so that's just kind of goes back to say that that's always at the root of what I'm doing. So it's like, I guess I'm always trying to, without knowing it, it's like my personality or whatever, to embody the paradox, to you know, show that, to prove to myself that, like, the essence and the core of a thing is always with it, you know?
It's really great. I would love Garrett. What a great guy, great writer. But yeah, I love a lot of what you said there, Lindsay, and I kind of connect that a lot because, you know, again, it came across in your story and everything, to hiking, like your passion for hiking and spirituality. Like, you're a very spiritual person, and like, it comes through obviously in your music.
Yeah.
And in your last album, where you like tap into the energies of your grandma and all that. But just like when I'm with you, like, I feel like, you know, there's a beautiful, like, kind of warmth, energy, and you're very sensitive to that. Tell me a little bit about your relationship to hiking, because it goes way back. Like, you've been hiking forever. What is it about it that connects you to nature and to your true core self?
I like things that show me how alive I am, and music is one of them, and being in nature is another. And I love being able to combine the two. You know, I do a lot of stuff with Scotty Stoughton because that's his, you know, the Winter Wondergrass, River Wondergrass thing is so rooted in that. Yeah, I don't know. I love things that when I'm doing it, I feel the most me, and I've always felt the most me
In nature.
in nature and singing, you know, and making music with people. Those are like the things that ground me in myself and connect me with myself, and I feel the most authentic and the most alive doing those things. So yeah, I just love that feeling of being motivated. I love going up mountains more than going down, you know? It's like it seems harder. It seems like it should be harder, but I get this, like, fire in me. This, like, I don't know if it's like the Aries thing, but I get this, like, I can feel it in my core, this, like, momentum, this upward momentum that I really thrive on, you know? And then coming down, I always just feel like, oh, it's like, you know, I feel like I'm being hard on my ankles or something. But yeah, I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Let me take you to Kingsford High School, if you mind, for a second, and kind of like when you perform that song that, like, Uncle Stucky wrote for you or whatever, like those moments, Lindsay, because, you know, like you said, multitudes, you know, so that also studied, like, you're into science and so many things, but like those moments were pivotal for your artistic career, right? Like because you felt that power, that energy and spirituality that you could have with, like, an audience. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been, I guess, a performer, or like, you know, one of my first memories that maybe I remember even more so because my mom's like, it's like a story that my mom told me about being at her grandfather's birthday party. It was like his 90th birthday or something, and or it might have even been his 100th. I can't remember, but I was 3 years old, and you know, I had always seen, or I had probably seen, because many people in my family on my mom's side are musical. She's one of 12, and it's like there's always a jam somewhere. And my mom and my Auntie Melody and my Uncle Bernie had a really nice trio, and they would, you know, like perform kind of in the family setting. And everybody sings along, but it's like we're also kind of listening to them. And I don't know where I got the idea. That's the only thing I can think of. But I guess I like tugged on her skirt at 3 years old and told her that I wanted to get on stage and sing in the microphone for Grandpa. I didn't even know this guy, you know what I mean? But like, I wanted to sing him happy birthday to the crowd, you know?
Little ham.
He's little ham, big time. And I did. I got up and sang for everybody. And I think that's just always been in me. And my dad's dad used to play accordion and for me, like in the den, and I would sing and dance. And I think it's just, you know, some people just sort of have that disposition for performing and connecting with people like that. Yeah, and then, you know, I've from such a young age, I have these memories of like wanting to work up Grandpa by the Judds with my cousin Harmony when I was like 3 or 4.
That's amazing.
Like I wanted to like plan to like get together with her and learn it together so that we could be like our moms and be singing this song together. It's like I was like planning rehearsals, band rehearsals with my family as like a 3 or 4-year-old. You know, yeah, let's go. And then I remember, you know, my Uncle Stucky and she's kind of my cousin Janice and you know, just different young people in that generation within my family. There's always like the boundary lines of the family are very foggy in my family. There's so many people in everybody's family, whether we're, you know, blood related or related somehow. It's like, I remember just seeing them sing duets and wanting to, this is probably when I was like 9 or 10, and wanting that to be me, wanting to be the one that like steps into the circle around the fire and sings the duet with Uncle Stucky, you know, and him, he actually went to prison when I was about 13, and he was such a force in the family jam that like people gathered around him and he like led things a lot, that's when I decided to pick up the guitar and start playing so that I could like help fill that gap while he was gone.
Interesting.
Yeah, so all of those things definitely contributed to
A beautiful tapestry of your journey. Yeah. And, you know, you talked a lot about your grandma in the past year. But let me add to this, especially now that you're going to become a mom. Your mom had 12 kids.
My grandma had
Your
12
grandma,
kids.
sorry.
Yeah, my mom
Sorry.
had 12 siblings. Yeah.
Your grandma had 12 kids. What, like, do you take, like, what are you carrying from your grandma today, now that some time has passed, since her passing or whatever? Like, what is the thing that you're like, man, like, I really have that from my grandma, you know?
My grandma had such a resoluteness about her. She was just so confident. And I remember talking with her about this when I was a kid. I remember people in school telling me that they thought that I was confident. And I felt some shame around that, like that maybe I was being, I don't know, that like the word confident to me sort of felt like the opposite of humble, which you know, I was just unsure about, like, is that a good thing or, you know?
Like arrogant, like, how does that,
Yeah, like arrogance, that was the word I was looking for. And I remember asking her about it, and she had this way of, you know, whether she was talking about the Bible or anything else, like she always wanted to break things down into their essential parts. And I remember her saying that it was confidence is like with fidelity. And, you know, we like talked about the whole word, and I remember leaving sort of feeling less shame around the idea. So it's funny that like really the the thing that I think that I have that's so much like her is sort of like an assurance just about, she had this thing where when she got a message about what to do with her life, and it was usually something extremely radical,
Yeah.
she took it as a message from God, and started homeless shelters and took her kids on a trip around Mexico with no money in her pocket to show her, that wealth isn't the basis of joy. And she like, just every decision that she made with a sort of resolute confidence that it was just incredible. It was like nothing could stop her, you know? And I don't know, I think I have a little bit of, I mean, obviously I'm just like anybody else, like doubting, you know what I mean? It's easy to doubt if you're doing the right things. But at the end of the day, just like having some faith. And it's funny because I've been like trying to meditate on having faith in the path that I take so much. But I think that I do that. But maybe I do it because I meditate on it and check in with myself and, yeah. But I do think of myself as a spirit, not as a religious person, but as a spiritual person. I find grounding in spirituality and in tradition, but not as much in politics. And I think religion sort of gets into politics more than I think is healthy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, very, very well said. Well, Lindsay, you have a lot going on, so let me leave you with this. Your friendships. You have friendships for many years. People like Maya DeVitri. When you mention your name, I mean, they just flood with like love and stories, and even people like Oliver Bates Craven. It's like you go way back with these people, and like people love you, and they love you for a long time. It's like real connection. What would you say is like the pattern with these beautiful long relationships that you?
I think I love them. I think they're reflecting my love for them back to me. I mean, it's hard to say which came first, but I these people have been such a monumental influence on me and my spirit and my growth as a person. I think we've all, just been there for each other. I mean, Maya has been, with both of them, with Maya and Oliver, I just can think about these moments that we've had together that I wouldn't be the same person at all without them, And I feel really lucky to be surrounded by the people that I am. I admire them and I love them so much, So I guess it's not, it's comforting, but maybe not as surprising to know that is coming back to me, because that's what happens, right? You get back what you put out. So
That's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsay, you've said it all. You're amazing. I'm glad we got to connect. Long time coming, and thank you for everything you do for the community with your music and your journeys making everything better. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. Click here to subscribe and get the latest from the show, including exclusive behind-the-scenes footage and once-in-a-lifetime performances. And as always, thank you for making J-Rock Concerts Media part of your day.